At the beginning of each year, I would set out goals for myself that I wanted to accomplish by the end of the year. But like any other year, I always seemed to fail. I would look back at the goals that I had stated for myself, but like every other year, I would fail at them, fail at accomplishing them. I always wondered how people were able to accomplish their goals. I knew there was something missing inside my equation of writing down the goals and then looking back to see if I accomplished. But over time, I found exactly what was missing in that equation. It was systems. Well, okay. Why then do systems matter? Well, a system is a set of habits that is done repeatedly. So if you want to become more interesting or improve your intellect, you need to have a system in place that will allow you to learn more, share more, and to overall improve upon your knowledge. The habits that you have in place in order to achieve a specific goal is a system. So you can already begin to realize how powerful this system is and why it's so important that if we want to achieve our goals, we need to have a system in place. But the question now is, how then do we create a system? Well, let's dive in. Well, in order to create a system, we need to make sure that our inputs, the actions that we do on a repeated basis, align with the outputs, the goals that we have set out for ourselves. So, to begin with, a simple way to create your system is by taking existing systems that others have in place and that has worked for them. This could be as simple as taking a system of a study system. For example, somebody has a system, a set of habits that they have created that allow them to get the grades that they want or to get the intellect that they desired. Taking that system and applying it to your own life is a very easy and effective way to create your own system. But this is where a lot of people fall into the trap. They take existing systems and they don't actually test to see if it works right for them. A system is meant to be personal to you. So, a person's system that they have created for themselves may not actually work well with you. So, it's important that you actually test out the system and then do the next important part of this equation of actually gathering feedback and altering the system. So, going back to our study example, if somebody's study system, is studying 2 hours a day for 5 days straight, and if you actually apply that to your own life and you realize that it doesn't work well for you, you may have work to do or you may have other tasks, obligations to do. So studying 2 hours a day just doesn't work for you. And that's perfectly fine. But the problem is if you just leave it like that, if you don't do anything to alter the system. So in order to actually alter the system, you need to gather feedback. You need to identify that that system, that basic system doesn't work well for you. So then you need to change the system and suit it for your own needs. So this could be, for example, changing it to 3 hours a day for 4 days straight, so that you actually have 3 days free for other obligations. When you actually start to alter the system, this is when things work well for you. The system that you have taken from other people are just the foundations for your new system that will be created when you alter the foundations. And then from there, it's just a constant loop of taking action on the system, gathering feedback to see areas that you can improve upon the system, and then keep on winning. But it is now I want to stress the importance of chaos in systems. Simply put, chaos is when one or small minute changes to a system can lead to drastically different results. So in our context, if your goal is to become a polymath and you only consumed content, you would get drastically different results than somebody who also consumed content and also created content. So our goal is to minimize the negative chaos in our systems. And an easy way to do this is by identifying, do our current inputs actually get us to the goal that we want? Does our system actually get us to the goal that we have defined for ourselves? And then from there, we can alter our system. And on top of that, by gathering constant feedback and altering your system over time is a very easy and effective way to negate the negative chaos in your system. But remember this, no system is perfect. And as you can already tell, there's going to be a lot of constant feedback and information that you will gather along your journey of creating systems and actually taking action on them. But what's important is that we don't want our system to be fragile, which basically means we don't want our system to buckle under any form of pressure. So if that's studying for 2 hours a day, for 5 days straight, or for 4 days straight, we don't want our system to fail the moment that we feel a lack of discipline or a lack of motivation. If our system immediately fails due to outside pressure or internal pressure, then our system is fragile. What we want is our system to be anti-fragile. So what is anti-fragile? Well, basically the opposite of fragile. We want our system to actually improve when stress occurs. We want our system to improve when pressure and hard times come around our system. So what this means is when we gather feedback on our system, we want to constantly improve upon it. We want to make it as anti-fragile as possible. So, in order to achieve your goals, what you need is to create a system for you to follow. Identify the goals that you want to achieve by the end of the year, by the end of the quarter, or by the end of the week. Then create a system, a set of habits that will get you to that goal. Gather feedback and gather information so that you can alter your system when stress comes and when it fails, so that over time your system can be as anti-fragile as possible and can ultimately achieve the goals that you desire.